Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral, joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command. So, today's episode is going to be about what level should you progress your ops level to, what levels should you stick at, what levels should you sort of hold your ground. We're only going to go up to level 40, so anything after level 40, I can't really comment too much on, so we will go anything up to level 40, and then we will potentially revisit this in the future. If you see me talking to my left here like this, blah blah blah, that looks like nothing. It's not nothing. There's my mic, for example. I'm not just talking into thin air. Ba-boom. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to use the ships in the game a little bit as a sort of a reference. We're also going to use a screenshot that I have for another reference for the between level 39 and 40, for example. So if we jump into the ships and then we go to shipyard levels, we have obviously the bunch of different ships from ranging from 1 star all the way up to 3 star slash obviously the jelly uses 4 star stuff, and so does the top end sort of ships. They use 4 star, but yeah, so we're going to use these as a reference to basically what we're going to progress through. So as you first start the game, you're going to obviously start the game and you're going to want to progress as quickly as possible. However, I would suggest progressing to probably level 12, because I think it's level 13 becomes the point where you can't change servers anymore. It's either 12 or 13 at the point where you can't change servers anymore. Please let me know in the comments, anyone that has joined recently, whether it is 12 or 13. I believe it is one of them, no, where you can't change the server anymore. And that is a big sticking point for a lot of players. So make sure prior to that point, moving on from there, you've picked the server you want to be in, whether that be with your friends, whether that be with family or whatever else. Make sure you're on the server that you want to be on prior to changing or getting to that point. Also, that is the point where you can start then being hit by other players, as it's a big turning point. But what you should then focus on doing, if I'm perfectly honest, a lot of people would suggest not to do this just because you want to build up a lot of materials, certainly 2-star materials to start with, and obviously 3-star, as you're going to need obviously 3-star materials pretty pronto. But what I would suggest is basically rush build to get your first, because you can look at all these first ships and quite frankly they're all terrible. If I'm perfectly honest, they are all terrible ships. So you want to kind of avoid all of these for any prolonged period of time. Do not upgrade them more than probably tier 3/4, because it's really not worth it. And then try and progress through onto getting, I would suggest level 22, which is where you get the Vaclus. The Kera, to be honest, I would just avoid getting as well. But I would progress on to level 22/24 and 25. Okay, so obviously by this point you will have progressed quite a lot in the game. Get into level 25 certainly, but it won't actually take too long to get to level 25. And level 25, I would put you down to having your first waypoint stop in the game. The reason I say it's 25 is because you can get the Vidar at level 25, or shipyard level 25. You can get the Vidar and you can build it, and that will be an incredibly good asset for you going forward. So 25 is where I would say you can get the Vaclus and the Kumari in that time as well, which these two ships are incredibly decent. I'm not going to say really good, but they are very decent ships going forward. The Kumari is obviously the one you want, / the Vidar, definitely. Them two ships you're going to want. The Kumari can last you all the way up to basically the next round of ships, which is going to be the next level I tell you to stop at, and what ships to skip on the way through to that point as well. Obviously level 25 is quite a big jump from starting the game, so just take your time, get there. You will get there eventually, and obviously the resources that you use, just try and focus on getting to level 25. You might seem like you're progressing too quickly. However, this is, like I say, you are going to stop here at this point, and you're probably going to spend a substantial length of time at this level. So all of your rewards that you're going to gain in the game, all the event stuff, you will get more resources by being this level than being, say, level 15 or level 20. You probably get slightly more resources, and you will probably fare a little bit better anyway. And like I say, you don't want to progress too quickly. Now you're sat at level 25. You want to then stay there for a fairly decent length of time to build up your 3-star materials, because at this point as well, you should be looking to get, you should already have got the envoy, and you should be looking to get the ECS Horizon, which I believe is level 26. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's level 26. I wish it did tell you in here, but I don't think it does. Which is a bit of a shame because I can't remember. But yeah, you'll be gearing up to go basically get this ship. I think it's either level 25 or level 26 to get this ship. But yeah, you can just get 3-star materials. And again, don't over-invest in your Vaclus or Kumari too far. The Kumari, I would say you can definitely get that up to tier 4/5 without real sort of problems. Tier 4 certainly, if you're going to move on, don't go more than tier 4, and don't upgrade anything on tier 4 either. And the Vaclus, probably the same. Don't over tier these ships. The Vidar, yes, put all your resources into the Vidar. You do want to max this out as soon as humanly possible. It is going to last you the entire length of the game. It's an incredibly powerful ship, so do what you can at level 25. Put all your resources into this ship for, I can't tell you how long to stick at these levels for, but certainly you're going to be at level 25 for a fair few months. So just stick to it, dig in, and start building up your 3-star materials. After you've then done your level 25 stuff, you're going to then want to progress on to skipping level 26 completely and all their ships. Skip level 27 and then move on to level 28. And 28, in my opinion, is going to be your next waypoint. And this is where you can then pick up something like the Stella. Obviously, in that time as well, you're going to then pick up one of your 3 main ships that's going to last you pretty much throughout the entire game to a decent extent, and that's going to be the Bortus, Saladin, or the Centurion. So make sure you pick a faction that you definitely want to head towards. The only problem with this method is the whole hostile hunting part of it. You might not be able to do so much, but once you unlock the Vidar, you should be able to progress the hostile hunting quite substantially. Certainly you're going to be able to progress the hostile hunting extensively once you hit these level 28 ships. So just take your time, and then you can do most of your grinding for your faction stuff when you hit level 28. Again, you're going to want to get these ships up to pretty high levels. So you're going to be looking to get either the Bortus, Saladin, or Centurion to probably in the region of tier 5/tier, if you can, tier 6. But certainly tier 5 is going to do you quite nicely. But yeah, this is going to be your next sticking point. Whilst you do this, this is what the breaks are for. Focus on research. Don't focus so much on getting the levels of the ships done. Focus predominantly on your research. Use your resources. Use your materials. Focus on research. Research is the biggest thing in this game that you need to do, as research lasts forever. Ships do not. Just remember that. Research will last you longer than the ships. So focus all your materials and all your time on doing as much research as humanly possible for the level that you are. Moving on from there. So level 28, you're going to stick at that for however many months. Say 6 months, I don't know, but say 5 to 6 months. And then you're going to then want to progress on to your level 34. This is your next sticking point. Ignore the level 32s. They are very good ships, but you don't need them. Go straight to level 34s, and in that time you want to be saving your faction credits to as much as humanly possible. from level 28 to level 34, save every single faction credit that you can save, and you're going to then want to progress towards using all of them credits to go towards whichever ship you want at level 34, whether it be the D4, the Enterprise, or the Augur. I would suggest you go for the Augur or Enterprise, but that's just my opinion. D4 is an incredibly powerful ship as well. However, I think the other two are just a little bit more versatile than the D4 is. But like I say, that's just completely my opinion, so you don't have to say to that anything at all. This is going to be your next sticking point for the time being until you've managed to get your Enterprise or your Augur or your D4 to probably in the region of a tier 4. Once you got it to tier 4, by now you should have your research ongoing, should be incredibly good, and you should be still progressing your research over tiering up your ship every single time of the day. You should be progressing your research more than you try and tier your ship up, as I've learned the hard way. After you do level 34, and being quite honest, your next level you want to try and progress to, and as quick as you can get there. It's going to be a slog, this one, as for example, I'm in this slog right now, and I'm level 38. The next one you want to progress from level 34 is to then go all the way up to level 40. The reason you want to get to level 40, I'm going to show you on another screen. Right, boom. So level 40 gets you the difference between, I believe, level 39 is on the right and level 40 is on the left. And these are to do with the events that you end up, some events that you end up getting yourselves in. And as you can see, the steel is substantially more at level 40, the trit's more, the dilithium's more, the G3 uncommons more, the rares more, the G4 common ores more, G3 crystal, and everything in level 40 is just substantially more because you're in the tier bracket higher. So I would advise to go to level 40 over level 39. That's just, again, my opinion with what research that I've done over the two different levels. And the good thing about level 40 is obviously you have access then to your latest and greatest of ships, whether that be the jellyfish, whether that be the upcoming ships from level 40 onwards, like the miners and so on and so on. But this is entirely my opinion. If you have a different viewpoint, please let me know down below at what levels you would stick and why you would stick at them levels for any prolonged period of time. But I think the levels that I've laid out are the best sort of milestone levels to go to. Stick there for say 5 to 6 months and then move on to the next level. Stick there for say another 5 to 6 months and then move on, depending on obviously if you're free to play, that's what I suggest you do. Spend at least 5 to 6 months at each of these sticking points just so you can build your resources up, just so you can build everything else up. If you're obviously a paying player, then that's obviously completely different, and you're going to obviously you're going to rank up substantially faster than a non-paying player. So these sticking points might not be 6 months long, but they might be say 3 months long. You're certainly going to have to stick at them still, but you might not have to stick at them for anywhere near as long. But I would suggest you try and just build up resources and stuff and materials, which is the main thing, and faction credits, which is going to be a big sticking point. I would definitely suggest you try and build them up in that time as well, whilst you're at these different sticking points. When you're progressing, just progress as quick as you can progress to get to the next stopping point. And then once you're at the stopping point, that's when you then catch up with all your research. You catch up with anything else that you've missed on the way, and you can obviously then go back to obviously saving your materials, saving your faction credits, potentially tearing up your ships, and all the other things that go around the stopping points themselves. Bearing in mind, I'm level 38. I have been completely, or very, very closely, been free to play the entirety of the time that I've played this game. I've now been playing the game for I think it's 2.5 years. And and I'm only level 38. So like I say, I'm not overly competitive when it comes to the events, so I'm probably slightly lacking behind other free-to-play players around the same time I started. But you can see how long it does take. But if you do take the time and effort, you can probably progress much faster than I can, and I'm sure you'll do great. But again, like I said, please leave your thoughts down below, what you think, different stopping points, why you think you should stop at them, or whether you agree with me and what I've sort of said is a pretty decent overlying sort of way forward to progress in this game, certainly up to level 40. After level 40, I really don't know. I don't know what the best levels are to be. I don't know where to go from there, as I am not currently there, so I can't really give you much advice on that, unfortunately. But anyway, hopefully this video has been useful. Hopefully it's been enjoyable. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.